The highly anticipated 5th season of Yellowstone will drop later this year to much fanfare, and fans everywhere cannot wait. But have you ever wondered what it might be like to work alongside one of the most famous faces in Hollywood? One Yellowstone star has recently been spilling the beans. Today, we're discussing Yellowstone star Forrie J. Smith and his recent comments on Costner, as well as his own younger years. Stay with us. Let's get into it. What has Smith had to say? Forrie J. Smith plays one of Yellowstone's most beloved characters in the shape of Lloyd, the loyal veteran cowboy of John Dutton's ranch. The show is obviously focused on the Dutton clan, but characters such as Lloyd really make the show what it is, even if he doesn't get as much love as some of the other more prominent characters. Smith is cowboy through and through, and knows everything there is to know about being a ranch hand, having worked on ranches for decades. And recounting his former days recently, he spoke of what that time in his life was like, whilst also giving fans a glimpse into what it's like to work with such a star as Kevin Costner, revealing a pretty funny anecdote. He said, "I respect him and appreciate his work more now after Yellowstone than I did before. There was a scene one day in the 2nd season when he, John Dutton, has an appendix attack, and I'm the first one to get to him and pick his head up." Smith went on to explain that as he gets up in the shot, the director told Costner to slap him if he gets in the shot again, with Costner replying, whoa, wait Ed, I'm not slapping Forrie, I'm not slapping Lloyd, I'm not slapping anybody in that body, okay? Pretty wise decision, Kevin. I mean, cowboys are pretty tough. What do you make of Forrie's tale? What else did he have to say then? Stay tuned to find out. Going into detail about how he got into the cowboy game and everything that comes along with it, Smith explained that his grandpa owned a ranch when he was a youngster, which of course he himself worked on. Discussing how he realized what he wanted to do when he was older, Smith said, "My stepdad died when I was 7 years old, and I can remember riding my little Shetland pony down there and fell off in front of him and mom, and like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, I'm gonna be a stuntman someday." Smith began life as a stuntman back in 1987 before producers and directors realized what they had in front of him. He went on to reveal how a stunt coordinator called him a short time later to offer him a part, revealing, he said, "There's just 2 lines and we need you to get the part because he can't ride a lick and we want you next to him. So we're sitting there and he says, with your look and your voice, you ought to take some acting classes." However, Smith wasn't willing to give up his cowboy lifestyle and even carried on riding at the rodeo until his early 50s. Wow, no wonder he is so good in the role of Lloyd. I mean, he's had plenty of experience. Did you guys know about Smith's previous life as a cowboy? What else do we know about Smith then? Let's see. Well, as we know, Smith grew up on ranches and has also been around movies for a long time as a stuntman, mainly performing in the role on Western movies thanks to his horse riding skills. Smith first appeared in the 1986 film Stagecoach. Reminiscing about his big break, Forrie explained that the movie needed someone who could rope a guy off the roof, and thanks to the length of his rope, he bagged the part. He then appeared in another movie, Desperado, and has also appeared in bigger productions such as Rambo 3 and Midnight Cowboy, among others. And it seems as though acting is in the blood. Smith's son Forrest actually plays the young Lloyd in flashbacks on Yellowstone, which is a pretty cool fact. Forrie, being the old-style cowboy he is, actually owns a ranch himself. You can catch a glimpse of his beloved place on Instagram as he regularly posts updates about his horse and cattle on the social media platform. Smith says, "I like sleeping in my own bed, petting my own dogs, and saddling my own horses. It's getting better around home about going out and having a meal and not getting interrupted. I'm not complaining. It's so cool, and the excitement and joy you bring people with just a hug and a picture. Without them, I wouldn't have a show. It's kind of wild. Pretty cool." Next up, Hauser has spoken of his difficult fight scene with Forrie. Stick around. Hauser plays the no-nonsense Rip Wheeler on Yellowstone, the ranch boss who runs an incredibly tight ship. One of Rip's rules is that if one of his workers wants to fight another of their co-workers, they must first fight him, which usually ends with the said worker face down in the dirt. Lloyd is regularly riled up by Walker after he steals his love interest, which ends in a beating from Rip after he lashes out at Walker. The scene is pretty heavy and most viewers were shocked to see just how vicious Rip was with Lloyd, who had been seen as a character as close to a friend as Rip has ever had. And discussing the scene, Hauser revealed just how difficult the scene was to film, saying, "Obviously Lloyd raised Rip in many respects, and then he, at one point or another, because of his way of thinking and John's way of seeing Rip, he passed him up a little bit. Or, not a little bit, he did. Lloyd kind of stayed in a certain place, but he is his brother, you know?" Hauser then went on to explain how we all saw in the flashbacks what Lloyd did for a young Rip, which made the scene all the more difficult. He revealed how there were plenty of emotions throughout the scene, but that Rip had to do it because there's a certain kind of rule and ethic that cannot be broken, and if it is, then people will be dealt with. What do you make of Hauser's words? A Kevin Costner Season 5 tease is coming through now. Stay with us. Fans are eagerly anticipating the Season 5 premiere later this year, November 13th, and the network has begun teasing fans with little tasters of what might be to come when it drops. The official Yellowstone Instagram page recently shared a previously seen clip from the show featuring lead man Costner in conversation with Rainwater's right-hand man, Mo, played by Mo Brings Plenty. Costner's John Dutton snaps at Mo, "You know, I got better things to do with my days," to which Mo replies, "This is worth the wait." Of course, the conversation is supposed to be talking about the upcoming season, which is a pretty fun way of drumming up excitement for the incoming installment. The show's Instagram page captioned the snippet with, "Some things are just worth the wait," and we're psyched. Fans were quick to comment on the video, with one saying, "Yes, it will be worth the wait, but I can't wait." Shortly after, the show also posted a behind-the-scenes clip from Season 5, which featured Rip and Lloyd riding their horses through the Dutton Empire. Jamie, played by Wes Bentley, can be then heard saying, "Welcome to Yellowstone Season 5. And Kevin Costner even stopped by in the comments to simply say, "Let's go." Will you be tuning in for Season 5? What do you think the season will have in store for us? Let us know below. And finally, how much does Kevin Costner make in his role as the Dutton family patriarch? Costner has been one of Hollywood's biggest stars for decades, and as such, can demand basically whatever he likes pay-wise. But how much exactly does he make for his role as John Dutton? Now in its 5th season, it's safe to say that Costner can almost dictate his income, and that shows in his paycheck. The star has recently been named the highest paid TV star, raking in $1.3 million per episode for the upcoming season. Wow! Of course, the show is now a huge success, so his pay has increased season on season. But no one would have predicted the show would have more than doubled the salary of its leading man since the first season. Costner is joined on the list by True Detective Season 3 star Mahershala Ali, who makes roughly the same amount as the Waterworld star for his upcoming Disney Plus and Hulu show, The Plot. Costner's success these days comes in stark contrast to his first film, Sizzle Beach, which was described by one critic as inept from the opening titles to the closing credits. How times change. As always, thanks for dropping by today, and remember to join us again next time when we will be discussing all sorts of other cool bits and pieces. Why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video with any Yellowstone fans you might know of? Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye guys!